fair warning, we're about to get into a really obnoxious article. So if you're prone to acid reflux or heartburn, maybe take a couple Tums, pause it, take some Tums, come back to this. This is insane. This too much gets overlooked, and a lot of the arguments like I see happening on Twitter revolve around all these like interpersonal problems, when really this is the essence of, I think, a lot of the problems that are in comics and entertainment, and that is that activists are using this legitimately. They're using the art form of comics, and now it'll be movies. They're coming for your films. They're using it to inject politics and to change minds. They want to persuade you of a different way of thinking. And the way that they're thinking is actually pretty racist. If you think about it. Well, you don't even have to think about it. They go ahead and say it right out loud. So this article is from The Independent. I know, kind of cringy. And here we go. This is by K.T. Roberts. Like Katie Roberts, but a K and a T Roberts. The article is titled, "Now that we've got a female Thor, let's topple every male, pale, and stale superhero character we can." So besides the really annoying rhymes, this is also pretty racist. If you were just to say that you have a problem with these immutable characteristics, that's annoying. Now, the funny thing is, you get blamed a lot. If you have a character, we'll take Thor, for example, because that's what this is about, is Thor initially. If you're annoyed that Thor is no longer going to be the same character, because really, like, it's not like Thor just all of a sudden changed into a woman. It's a different character. It's not Thor. It's his girlfriend, and I can't think of her name right now. Somebody else. It is somebody else. So if you've been following that character's gone. And not only is that character gone, it's gone because they don't like a white, straight, male, cisgender, whatever. They don't like that person because of their immutable characteristics, and they feel like a message needs to be sent that things need to change. That's why this is so obnoxious. And to think that this is obnoxious, then they're going to tell you, well, you're just racist. That's why this bothers you. You've got a problem with it. But it's like this. They can't just keep quiet about it. They have to tell you exactly what their plan is. It's just like isn't it so fitting for comics, superhero stories? The villain is always monologuing to tell you exactly what their plan is, right in the nick of time. So we'll get into the article. Superhero movies are important. That's not an opinion. It's just true. Avengers Endgame is the top box office film of all time, raked in $2.79 billion and watched by millions. Superpowers get bums on seats, and sneaking in social justice messages under the radar is a tried and tested way of speaking to the masses. Do you see what's going on here? Somebody explain this to me. Okay? If you really have bought into the narrative that you're racist if you hate the changes, or there needs to be representation, it's such a silly argument. This is genuinely what it's about. Sneaking in social justice messages under the radar so that they can speak to the masses. That's the goal. That's why so many people... Motorcycle. That's why so many people have such an issue with the elimination of characters as they are, because they're white, straight, male, etc. That's why we have problems with it, because this isn't about representation. The representation thing is a false argument. You know it's a false argument unless you've bought into that lie. This is it. It's spelled out straight. The goal here is not to make entertainment that people are going to enjoy. It's the backward. They're reverse engineering. They look at it and they see, hey, a lot of people enjoy these characters and these stories. Therefore, that's an opportunity for me to get in and spread my message, because that's a lot of people watching it. It's not the same. I've called this before, the sandcastling. You build up this big sandcastle and then some dope wants to come sit on it, right? Now they own the sandcastle. They're going to destroy it, of course. It cannot support the weight. Okay? So this is the same thing. They already see something that's been built, it's been successful, so they want to get in, and they're going to use those same kinds of arguments, right, that you feel terrible about. They're trying to make you feel guilty so that they can sneak in their messages under the guise of representation and all these other things. It's really just about changing your minds. It's political, and it's stated right here in plain English. All right, we continue. These stories have always been about underdogs proving their worth, or those who are other. Just, I hate this. Again, the terminology. Why? Those who are other. Oh, brother. It's seriously like gender studies class. You know, it was always a sign when you're in college. You're taking a class, and it'll be any class. It'll be like communication and social justice, algebra and social justice, homemaking and social justice. They'll add that in to let you know, again, this is the same thing. They're injecting the politics into the thing, and it takes over everything. It means nothing else is important except their message. Other. It kills me. Let's see. They find their place, and recent wave of heroes who truly reflect those traits is one we should cheer as it builds into a tsunami. Here's a problem. The tsunami hasn't been built by social justice politics. It hasn't. I know you think, and you're going to keep adamantly saying, well, heroes are automatically social justice warriors. No, they're not. They're really not. It's basic human decency. This is universal like heroism. You can go and save somebody's life. It has nothing to do with social justice, right? You can go and have justice. That is not the same thing as social justice. They're two different things. And so, yeah, claiming it like it was somehow built by this ideology is not true. Otherwise, why would you be, in your own words, sneaking under the radar to get to it? All right, since Saturday, they announced the emo Thor. The internet has blown up with people wailing, Okay, you get the idea. So they like this. They like the reaction that people get. They like when people are upset about it. And of course, they're going to do anything they can to take it over. But we all know, we've seen it before, especially in comics. It doesn't make things grow and get better. It destroys things because you're putting politics over story. If you're there because you see it as a platform for your ideas, you're doing it wrong. If you're there because you see an opportunity to tell great stories, if you've got a story in you want to tell, that's different. That's the way that it should be. You can't just go there and see it as, minds ripe for the picking. That's gross. And here's one. This is perhaps the most obnoxious.
So yes, let's plunder the male superheroes, and Thor is an excellent place to start. There's a simple mechanism by which everyone else can gain his powers, as shown in Endgame with Steve Rogers, to whoops of glee from the fanboys now complaining. Plus, Marvel women have a history of relegation to the sappy love interest, or worse, the feisty girls, whose only power is the super boyfriend backing her up. Jane Foster's particular victim of this casual misogyny. She spent 2011's Thor demanding S.H.I.E.L.D. give her back her life's work. They capitulated when Thor asks. And the sequel, Thor the Dark World, as a swooning damsel showing her mettle by giving Loki a good slap while he's in cuffs and Thor is standing right there. Finally, this is the chance for the character to ironically step out of Thor's shadow, and that should be a call to arms for the rest of us, in front of and behind the cameras. Women directors are few and far between and are only just starting to helm blockbuster films without a single female lead, with Chloe Zhao directing.
And blah, 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 blah. This is the thing you have to realize. These stories were initially made up for young boys to read. I know. Earth-shattering, right? There was a target demographic. And it's kind of hard to just reverse that, because the story's foundation, the very foundation of it, it was made for boys. Now, if we take a look over here, these are some other stories that have been made directly for girls and women. We could look to reverse engineer these and make them for men. You got Mean Girls starting out. It could be Mean Guys. That would be probably a terrible movie. Clueless. I don't know. It could be, I've never seen that show. I have no idea. A Cinderella story could have some dude that's, you see how it doesn't really work? It's not the same. It's not the same thing at all. Princess Diaries of Mamma Mia. Let's see. Sisterhood of the we could do the Brotherhood of the Traveling Pants. They could be like some stained pants that they get, lucky pants you gotta ship around to each other, whatever, something like that. Lots of stains. Sounds about right. Man, the more I get through this list of movies I don't want to see. Would I see them more if they were re-engineered for men? No, probably not. They sound terrible. If they made them movies for men, they'd just start over, right? You just make a new movie for men in mind, or like a franchise that already exists. That's how things have worked. It's just so weird. getting in to try to change people's minds through their entertainment is creepy, it's sneaky, and it's obnoxious. And for you to point out and say, hey, this is annoying, I don't like this, that doesn't make you a bad person. That means that you're seeing through their lies, that you're seeing through exactly what they're telling you. And I think this is absolutely shameful to make politics part of this. So yeah, The Independent, I already knew it was total shill site and extreme. And now I'm pretty sure KT Roberts, good day, ma'am. Hey, but you want something fresh that has nothing to do with politics, just a great story? Check out Downcast. It is a story about blue-collar teens that use the power of gravity to fight against a corrupt city for their father's life. If you have not backed it yet, please do check it out. It's in the link in the description below. That really, really helps us out. And yeah, we're going to make some good entertainment. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.